Hey, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing a brand new eyeshadow palette with you. I think maybe we'll do at least 2 looks, if not 3, just depends on what I'm feeling like today. By the way, if you're not already a follower on Instagram, my handle is makeup with Michelle Renee. I might have to go check it out. I think it's Makeup with Michelle Renee. Anyway, I put a poll over there asking which palette you wanted to see first, the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz or the Melt Amor Y, what is it called? But anyway, I put a poll up asking which palette you wanted to watch me use first, the Rose Quartz by Huda Beauty or the Amor Y Mariposas by Melt Cosmetics and Melt Cosmetics 1. So this is what we're going to be using today. We're going to do maybe 2 eye looks, possibly 3, just depending on how I'm feeling about things. But I am really excited to be playing with this. It is such a beautiful palette. Look at the colors. You know, I thought it was going to be bigger. I thought the palette itself was going to be larger for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it was the promo pics that made me feel like that. But it's really not that big. It kind of reminds me of like a ColourPop palette, doesn't it? Not necessarily quality-wise, but just like the layout, the size. It just reminds me of a ColourPop palette. But nonetheless, it's very beautiful, very colorful, and I'm super excited to use it. I do have a lot of experience with Melt Cosmetics. I have quite a few of their palettes already, so I kind of know what to expect. I'm curious if we're going to get the same great matte quality. There is a little bit of inconsistency in their shimmer formulas, so I have already swatched some of these. They swatch really nicely, but I'm going to be sharing all of that with you all today. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. I haven't been able to film much at all recently just because my job has me very busy. I've been extremely tired when I do get home, not really feeling like doing much of anything, so I picked this up as a birthday present to myself because my birthday was November 1st, and I really didn't do anything, and I didn't really treat myself in any other way, so I grabbed a couple of makeup products. Otherwise, I've been pretty good. So, yes, that's what we're doing. We're jumping into this palette. If that sounds interesting, please be sure to stick around. If you're just now making it over to my channel and you're not already subscribed, please don't forget to tap that subscribe button before you leave. Ring that notification bell if you do so you don't miss future uploads. Let's get into this palette. Now, like I mentioned before, I do have quite a bit of experience with Melt Cosmetics. I own 5. I own 5 of their previous palettes. I have the Gemini, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of a sneak peek of each one, just because I feel like this new one is so different in terms of like tone, just everything. Well, maybe compared to the ones that I own. Melt does have other really colorful palettes. They released, I forget the names of them honestly, but I didn't pick up those. This is the most colorful Melt palette that I own. This is the Smoke Sessions. And then we have the She's in Parties palette, which was that really grungy, like plummy palette. So when you compare those to this one, obviously this one is much more colorful. So I'm really curious to see what the colorful mattes are how they're gonna perform, and if they're gonna be the same great quality as the other types of mattes that I've used for Melt in the past. So looking at this palette, there are 20 shadows in total. 6 of them are shimmers. So it's very matte heavy, but I'm okay with that. I've got plenty of shimmers in my collection. I don't need a whole bunch of them in this palette. Should I swatch them all? I really debate on that every time I do a palette review, just because I don't know if you guys feel like watching all of that. It's kind of time consuming. Let's do it anyway. Something I do want to note, the pans are removable in this palette, which I absolutely love. In all the other palettes that I own from Melt, their pans are removable, so I can mix and match tones. I can make my own little custom palettes. I really like that. So I'm very pleased to find out that the pans in this one are also removable. Okay, we're just going to go row by row really quickly. I'm going to swatch these out for you. The names are in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not trying to butcher these names. You will have to forgive me. Oh, I hate to mess up the little butterfly print, and it is too. It is totally ruining it. Ooh, look at that green. So that is row number 1. There is row number 2. Very beautiful. Ooh, buddy. Why am I doing it all sideways? I don't know. I don't usually swatch with my left hand. This is why. It's really hard to do. Oh, I like that. That's a really unique shade of like pinky orange. I am dipping back in here at least once or twice more just because I feel like to get a really decent swatch or get a good representation of the color, it's a good idea to build it up a little bit because we're not going to just swatch it once on our eyeballs either. That is row number 3. Like, look how beautiful. Still going sideways here. Oh, that's a pretty color too. All right, the swatches are really jacked, but that is the last 2 rows. So, there is the palette. Now I'm ready to play. Very, very pigmented shadows, I gotta say. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to use some of the shades in here. Obviously, it's a review of this palette. But I may dip into my single shadows, like maybe some Terra Moons or Cleona or Divina or something like that to kind of complement these shadows. All right, I think I've decided. I want to do something a little fun, a little risky. So the first shade I want to dip into is, I think it's Abuelita. Abuelita, does that mean grandmother? I don't remember. I took 2 years of Spanish in high school and I can't remember anything but like colors and numbers. It's terrible. But this is such a beautiful, like, hot pinky orange shade, or hot orangey pinky shade. Anyway, it's gorgeous. I'm going to start off with that after I prime the lids. I'm going to start off with my P. Louise base, just because this is a fantastic base if you want really poppy, loud eye looks, if you want something to really stand out. So let's do that. I might be filming this between 2 days. I'm not sure yet. It's pretty late in the evening when I'm filming this. I just could not get up the motivation to film earlier. I tried. And every time I would sit down to film, I would start doing something else. It's been like that for a couple months now. I think I'm just overwhelmed right now and tired. Not having a great time, if I'm just being honest. Let's take Abuelita and blend that into the crease. And we're going to start off with a really fluffy blending brush. Really blow that color out. So, wow, look at that. Ooh, buddy. It's very pigmented. I would say be careful. I'm just going to like hold the brush back all the way at the end here and apply very little pressure because I have a feeling it's going to get out of control real quick if I don't. Look at the frickin' pigment, would you? Oh no. I feel like my eyes be looking real hooded here lately. Such a beautiful color. Now I know for a fact if I went in and stamped this color on, it would be full on bright ass pigment, but I don't really want to do that yet. Like, look at that. I'm barely tapping that on. Okay, so far so good. Super simple, really pigmented, blended really nicely. I like it. What now? Okay, I think I want to take the shade right below that. Is this Almohada? I hope I'm not butchering that. It's a really beautiful, deep purple shade. And I'm going to start buffing that kind of up into that pink. I don't know what the colors are going to do if I mix them together. I guess we'll find out. They are just so freaking pigmented. I love it. I mean, so far I would say this. If you're afraid of pigment or you don't like super pigmented shadows, I don't think this is going to be for you. Because these shades are extremely pigmented. I'm not mad about it because I love pigmented shadows. But I know there are some people that don't. They can be a little harder to work with because they're easy to kind of get out of control with. But I like them. I love being able to build up a lot of depth. And that's hard to do when you have shadows that aren't as pigmented. I'm going to go back around the outside with that pink just to kind of deepen her back up a bit. I kind of do this a couple times on both sides to keep that intensity. God, that's nice. But here's where I'm kind of stuck because I'm like, what now? We've got this really beautiful pinky, orangey, purpley type of look going on, but if I was going to keep it like this, what shimmer would I use? Because if I used this one's called Sagrado, I just don't feel like that's going to give me the impact I'm looking for this look. I need something brighter, so maybe the orange. That's pretty. I kind of wish there was a purple shimmer. What if I took... I'm not going to try to pronounce that one. What if I took the green? I feel like the green is a riskier move, right? Maybe we need to do that. We're going to take the green. So in order to make it really stand out, let's cut the crease with P. Louise base. It's been a while since I've done like an actual cut crease. Can y'all see these damn cats on my bed? Look at these cats, would ya? There's 2 of them. Just laid out, no cares in the world. Just living life. Sometimes I wish I was a cat. Taking risks, right? No risk, no reward. To help me out a little bit, I'm going to grab another concealer brush just to get right up along that line. And then I'm going to go back into that really deep purple, make it mesh a little bit better. Oh my god, this freaking cat just keeps getting more... Like, look. Hello. 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 He knows I'm calling him. Hello. Rotten. Okay, dipping back in that purple with a flat packer brush, and we're just going to pack it back on. Trying to make it mesh a little bit better here. And I usually go back and forth a few times just to make it a little more seamless. I'm going to barely tap into that green and just do like this. I mean, I don't hate that. It's different. It's not like the first look I would have thought to create with this palette. Well, I guess it is the first look I thought to create, isn't it? But it's not like what I would have envisioned when I first looked at this palette. But I think it's really beautiful. What do you guys think? Obviously, it would look a lot different if I had brows and lashes and under eye work. I say that all the time. When I'm not finishing the rest of my face, it's really hard to visualize what the completed eye look is going to look like. But I'm digging that. I think it's really beautiful. Yeah. Let's go on to look number 2. Since I had such a great result using the P. Louise base, we're going to use that again on the other eye. What you doing? You getting comfy? Aw, laying on top of brother. So freaking rotten. Zeus is laying right there with him, so they're like snuggled up against each other. Precious. I have that stupid song by Bo Burnham stuck in my head. That Jeffrey Bezos song. I don't know why, but it is. It's stuck in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Thanks, TikTok. Okay, I'm going to take that first shade. What is this called? Mensaje? I don't know. Kind of marigold type of orangey yellow, or just yellow, grungy yellow. And we're going to start packing that in my crease. Are you comfortable? Are you comfy? He's going to attack my arm as soon as I start blending, watch. He's like right underneath my elbow. He's like halfway falling off. Ooh, beautiful color. Be careful, you're gonna fall. No, you're not gonna be tearing up my stuff. You're trying to knock all my brushes on the floor. No. I knew that. I should have known. No. Why did I bring you on my lap? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Hi. You say hello? Say hello. Hi. He's like half sleepy, but he's trying to tear up my stuff and knock my brushes on the floor. You are. You look innocent, but you're not. But you're not. Him's a rotten man. Him's a rotten baby. Oh, I love him so much. Hi, honey. You can't come back over here because you're trying to knock my stuff on the floor. Okay. Moving on. Jeffrey Bezos. So far, I'm very pleasantly surprised at the pigmentation. I don't know why I thought that it wasn't... Not that it wasn't going to be very pigmented, but I thought I was going to have a little bit more, like, trouble building it up. And I'm not. It's really nice. Alright, let's take it from there. So the next shade that I'm going to use is going to be this really beautiful, like, warmer toned purple. And it's Maria. Is it purple? Is it burgundy? I guess it's more of a burgundy. Man, that's a deep shade. Like, I feel like maybe I need to bridge the gap somewhere. But, God, it's such a beautiful color. Let's just go for it. Taking a smaller, wow. Like, look at that. I mean, this is some serious pigmentation, guys. Oh my gosh. We are going to build up with a deeper purple as well. But man, that's pretty. No, you were just waiting for me to drop something, huh? No. They just blend together so well. Okay, now let's dip into the shade right below that. And this one is Charro. And again, it's that deeper, like chocolatey purple almost. Look at that. There's just so much depth. I love this. I love these shades. There's zero patchiness. They're laying down so nicely. Like, are you all seeing this? You know, I'll be honest with you. At first, when I saw this palette, I didn't want it. And mainly because I have so many palettes with a lot of color in them. I really didn't think that I had a need for this palette as well. But on the flip side of that, like I showed you earlier, I don't have a ton of melt palettes that have a lot of colors in them. I've got a lot of grungier melt palettes. And I really wanted to be able to try out different tones and more saturated colors, more vibrant colors from melt. So that's why I wanted to get this one. And so far, I'm not disappointed. Like, I'm blown away. Wow. I think to make this look really pop and really stand out, I'm gonna take the orange. which is like the biggest risk, basically. Other than the green. That would be a risk too. But I think the orange, I think that's where I want to go with this. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did on this eye. We're just going to do another cut crease. I like cut creases. What can I say? You better get down. Excuse me, sir. Leo. Leo. No, sir. You better get down from there. Get down. Get down. Get down. Aw, you wake up too, Zeus? Join in on the fun? Then what's going on? Brother's being crazy. Get down. Do I need to break out the spray bottle? You ain't supposed to be up there. All I gotta do is show it to him. I've only gotten him with it like once or twice. That's all I needed. Okay, let's dip into that orange. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's definitely different. I definitely feel like I like this one better. I don't know if this was the right choice for this look. Probably should have just stuck with the gold. Oh, wanted to be bold. Now, this palette is obviously for somebody that enjoys color, that's not afraid to play with color, not afraid to experiment, and be a little bit bold with their choices, their eye looks. But it is really, really fantastic. You know, I kind of want to go over top of that. Just not feeling that orange with the, particularly with that mustardy, like, marigold shade. Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Okay, I told you guys I might do this. This is what it looks like with just the Melt palette. Now, this doesn't look terrible. I don't think it's a horrible eye look, but I feel like the tone of orange doesn't really go well with the rest of the look. And maybe that's just me, but I feel like I could do better. So, you guys know me. If you've been here for any length of time, I hate using the term obsessed. I am in love with Terra Moon's cosmetics. They have some of my favorite shifty, shiny, just breathtakingly beautiful single shadows. So I pulled the shade called Mercury. And let me just show you how stunning this shade is. Like, look at that. And I feel like putting that over top of this orange is going to really set it off. Now, this is not exactly a topper type of shade. Can you not? Lord have mercy. This is a pretty opaque shadow, so it's going to pretty much cover up that orange, but look at that. I just feel like the tone is better suited for this look. You guys got to see it without it, okay? Like, look at that. I still feel like the tone is a little bit off, but man, that just did something special, right? I am going to tap on a little bit more of that deeper purple on the outside there. Okay, I guess I actually have to spray you this time. Or not. I really do want to make one more eye look on both eyes. I want to show you how much you can do with this palette. And the reason why I decided to break out this Terra Moon shadow is not because I think that this palette isn't good enough on its own. It can definitely stand on its own. But I very, very, very seldom use just a palette by itself. Normally I am incorporating my single shadows, my special shades. That's just how I like to do my makeup. So whenever I do first impressions, you all will see me throw in those shades from time to time because that's how I typically do my makeup. So you're getting a review on the actual palette as well. You saw the shades. We got quite a few on the eyeballs right now. I would kind of like to play with the greens a little bit because we haven't played with the greens. We haven't played with the red. We haven't played with the more neutral shades. But so far, this is what we have. I'm kind of digging it. I think they both look really nice. We are going to do one last look. I mean, I do like this one. I think it's really pretty. I don't know. I don't know which one's my favorite. What do y'all think? I like them both. Okay, we are back and we're going to get into this third eye look. Obviously, I've got all of my base makeup laid down. My eyebrows are done. Looking, you know, a little bit more put together than I was before. We need to come up with a third and final look. And I'm stuck. Because part of me wants to use these beautiful greens, but then the other part of me wants to use this really bright red. Maybe incorporate like this one here and the orange. I don't know what to do. These mattes are so creamy and buttery feeling. I don't recall Melt's mattes feeling like that before, but I'm here for it. I kind of want to use this really beautiful emerald green. It's pretty stunning. I feel like if I do that though, and I go in with the mattes to coordinate with that, I'm going to get a look very similar to the one that I did for my Glam Light Dirty Martini palette. I'm going to throw on some of these greens. Okay, we're going to start this off with a very fluffy blending brush. This is the Sonia G Blender Pro. And I'm dipping into Te Adoro. Again, Spanish sucks. My Spanish sucks. That one there. There's lots of kick up in these eyeshadows. That really doesn't bother me as long as I'm not getting a bunch of fallout. So far, so good. All of these shadows have been really beautiful. Zero blending issues. They just work really nicely. It's a really nice palette. I don't really know if it justifies the $70-some price tag. To me, that's a little out there. I just turned 38 and I think it's very evident in the hooded lids. Bastards. Okay, why'd I do that? I didn't mean to go in so heavy. You gotta be really careful because as soon as you dip your brush in the pan, that's what it's like. It's extreme pigment right off the top. So you gotta dip in kind of lightly, unless you're like me. You go in all ham. I'm debating on whether I want to use this green here or just go straight on in with this really deep kind of hunter green. I'm just going to start with this one. We're going to pack it on the outer corner and I'm going to start blending it up. And if I need something to kind of transition, we'll put this in between. Why not? I have my cat laying on my lap and he's purring very loudly. So I'm hoping you guys don't hear that in the microphone because he's closer to the mic than I am. He don't wait. Okay, so anyway, just to let you all know, you can't get up there. No. I know you want to, but you can't. Putting him on my lap was a mistake. This is probably my favorite Melt palette so far, or one of them. I don't want to say it's my absolute favorite, but I just love the colors in here, and I love the quality. The quality of this palette is just really, really good. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this green look. Are you comfy? No, I don't want you knocking things on the floor, thank you. No, sir. That's his favorite thing to do. His little game. Throw it on the floor game. Right? Don't want you doing that. Okay, taking that deeper green on a packing brush. We're going to pack it on. Holy Moses. Y'all see that? That is very deep. I don't want you messing with stuff, sir. No. He is so stinking soft. No, I don't want you up there. Do I need to put a spray bottle there so you don't get up there? I mean, this is a beautiful green. So deep. It's not patchy so far. I don't want to speak too soon. But yeah, so far, so good. You're going to have to go somewhere because I'm trying to film, dude. Ready? You say hi to the good people. Say hi. Say hi. Hi. This my baby. Yeah. You and Zeusy? My little babies. Love it. Okay, now I'm going to take that other green. This one right here. And we're going to blend that shade up and out. It's way too deep to be blending on its own, I think. I think it's going to get really murky and muddy if I try that. I mean, I guess you never know, but I want this to look decent, right? So I'm still considering doing live streaming with you all because I feel like if I did that, it would give me the opportunity to film more content for you all. I just don't have the time to edit. And I think that's the main thing that keeps me from filming, because I can film all the content in the world if I felt like it, but then I have to edit it all, and that takes a lot of time. So I never like fully figured out how to properly edit, which is why we haven't done that yet. But I'm thinking about just going for it and then just letting it be what it is, because I want to film. I want to be here with you all, and I want to spend that time with you guys and talk about makeup and enjoy each other's company, enjoy this community. And I just, as it is now, I don't have the time to do that. So it's been real crappy here lately. Okay, now that I have that deep green laid down, we're going to take the shade right here, and I'm going to blend this into the green and up into the other shade. That way it diffuses it a little bit better. I don't want it to be a stark like tan and then a dark green shade, because it just won't look right. So that's what we're going to do. Lightly. They're just two different kinds of green. That's the only issue. Not that it's really an issue. Not my favorite blend in the entire world. It's not terrible, but it could use some work. Green is just one of those colors that can get patchy and muddy real quick. I don't think it looks bad though, so we're probably going to leave it alone before it starts to look bad. I think we're in a good place so far, right? Doesn't look too terrible. It's just easy for these types of looks to get patchy and to start looking a little rough. I feel like there could have been a better job done with the selection of shimmer shades, but that's just me. That's just my humble opinion. We're going to tap this beautiful emerald green on the outside, and we're going to tap that really pretty gold towards the beginning of my lid. Okay, here we go. We're going to start in with the finger here, just because that's how most shimmer shades lay down best, is with the finger. You know, there's a couple of really beautiful shimmery, sparkly, special green shades that I would love to throw on this look. Maybe in the future, right? Oh, it's not going to be the right tone of green. And I'm going to pack back on that deeper green on the outside here. Now we're going to take this really pretty gold shade right here called Tequila. I can pronounce that. And that's going to go on the beginning portion of my lid. Tequila. Ooh, that's pretty. I kind of like that. I think that looks really nice. Let's take that deeper green. We're going to stamp this on the lower lash line. Usually I skip over this step, but let's just do it. Let's get into it. I really notice when I don't do this step. It just makes such a huge difference. Okay, we're going to smoke that out with that same tan shade. See what I mean? It just brings everything full circle. I think we're going to leave that right there. This is where we are so far with the eye look. I used the Natasha Denona Work and Set for my lower lash line. While I know this isn't from the Milk palette, I just want to show you what I'm using for the inner corner. So we're going to take Light Year from Terra Moons. Does it show the shift? Ooh, a little bit. It's a very beautiful iridescent, shifty green and gold shadow. So I feel like it's perfect for this look. I just feel like it adds something super special to a look. What you think? Right? Can't help it. I love it. Ta-da! This is the last eye look. Okay, so this is the final look now that I have the lips finished. I had to do something to kind of pull everything all together because it was just looking a little strange with nothing on the lips. Let's recap really quickly on the Milk Cosmetics Amor Y Mariposas palette. you all can see just like I can, the exterior is beautiful. The palette itself is stunning. But as far as the quality is concerned, I really enjoyed this palette. I've never really had an issue before with Melt's matte formula. I was more concerned with the shimmers in this palette, but I will say I feel like they changed their matte formula. I feel like they made it creamier and more pigmented, if that was even possible. But these mattes are stunning. In terms of shimmers, I would say they're okay. They're not my absolute favorite shimmer formula. Like, this one is stunning. This one I really like. The chunkier, more foiled ones, I really enjoy. But the more dry type of shimmers, the ones that are more satin than they are, I don't want to call them satin. They're just not like real shiny. Those are just not really my favorite. Like this orange, the green one up here is okay. It's not bad. There's just not enough pizzazz in it, you know, for my taste. But it's not a bad shadow. And I feel like if you bought this palette and you like these colors and you like the fact that there's like the certain shimmers and mattes, I feel like you'll really like this palette. It's good quality. And I love that I have it because it kind of rounds out my little Melt collection. Now I've got a bunch of neutrals, some grungy tones. I've got the really beautiful colorful tones. I do feel like this was a little bit overpriced. I think I already said that. I don't want to compare this to ColourPop quality because it's better than ColourPop, but it's just a little pricey in my opinion. I feel like they could have gotten away with charging like $50 for this, and that would have been still a little bit on the high side, but I just don't feel like they should be charging more than that for this palette. And like I said, it's still a great palette, but there's a lot of great palettes that are in the $50 range with this many shadows. So anyway, again, I really enjoy the palette. I just think it's a little bit overpriced. I really like the eye looks that I created with this palette. You'll have to let me know down below which look was your favorite, the first, second, or third. I think the first look was my favorite. I really like this one too. The middle look was okay to me. It just wasn't my favorite out of the bunch. Thank you all so much for being here. I really love just coming up with some eye looks, playing with some makeup. I miss chatting with you all. I miss being able to just be here more often. I haven't had the time to do that. So thank you all again for showing up, being supportive, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. Not only does that let me know that you like my content, but it lets YouTube know, which is super important, so I keep getting seen. So to those of you that take the time to do that, I am very grateful. Thank you so much in advance. However, if this was your first time watching my videos and you liked it, or maybe you've seen other videos of mine but you're not subscribed yet, please tap that subscribe button and stick around. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss future uploads, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.